is up, buds? Welcome to WeeDnD, the pot-positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClanahan, but my buds call me Bam. And this beast is Beelzebong. Thought we'd pull it out to have us a little Halloween sesh here tonight, guys. We know. Halloween was a couple days ago, you say. We care not. I pretty much jump at any chance that I can to put on eyeliner. And so here we are. It has been an absolutely wild ride. We've been getting into some really fun stuff on the back end. You know, we talked a little bit last week about the live show. We're starting to get some of like the footage in and stuff on that. So keep your eyes out. We're going to have some pretty cool little content opportunities for you guys to kind of see how that went about. It was super awesome and a lot of fun. Huge shout out to the buds that came. This, again, it's like, yet again, I have to just reflect. We're kind of right around the 18-month mark on this project. And just like the breadth of this story, the commitment of the buds that have been here for so long, those of our new buds that are just joining along and finding out what a joy, you know, this little group of people is and this little piece of magic that we got here. So I am eternally humbled and thankful for all of you. Thank you so much for just being here and celebrating this little thing with us. It really is a treat to get to do every week. So holy crap, guys. It is obviously, as like I said, you know, we're gonna give us a pass. We know it's not still Halloween, but we wanted to dress up anyway. And so in order for me to show off these costumes of my favorite people in the entire world, I've got to pass this joint here through the magical fibers of the interwebs to my dear and witchy friend, Brenna Folger. Hey, Brenna. How you doing, girl?
I am the Wicked Witch of the Yeast. Brenna Folger. You also know me here as Brunor, the serpent slayer, the shadow dragon slayer. And I'm really excited to relive and keep Halloween going. And also, that made me think of what my first Halloween costume that I could remember was. So it's like the first Halloween costume that I had. It was a clown riding a horse. My first costume that I could remember. Cute. Yeah, I don't know if there was any. I'm sure there was shit before. But that's the first one that I have like in my mind of like I did a Halloween. Abby, what was your first Halloween costume that you could remember?
Oh, what a great question! First of all, hi everybody. I'm WeeDnD, but better known around these parts as Tynna, Smoothhands. Oh my gosh, halfling, but I'm wearing my high elf ears today. You know, just. 'Tis the season still, you know, okay? But I believe last time I talked about the first costume I remember ever picking was my Captain Janeway costume. But I've seen little photographs of me as a Dalmatian, and I remember falling and like skidding my nose. So I had like a little like nose, like a puppy. It was very cute. It's very cute. Yeah. What about you, Drew? If you want to hear what yours is.
Oh man, I thank you, and I don't know who this Drew person you're speaking of is. My name is Andrew. Yes, I'm a douche. You see, Argyle sweater, flat cap. Oh yeah, no real mustache going on. What kind of a man am I? Yeah, ask yourself that question. Andrew sucks. And you know what? Andrew has no memory of his childhood and doesn't remember his first Halloween costume, but he does remember his favorite is when I was a Ghostbuster. That's right. My best friend, IRL, made me my own personal fucking jumpsuit. I'm not going to mention any names, TJ. Anyway, I'm fucking excited to see what's going to happen with what's going on, because I don't know, Jake?
Hey, thanks, Andrew. I like the other guy better. I don't know.
I know.
But no, I appreciate this. Let me put this in my attaché case and welcome you buds to WeeDnD. Oh my God, it's the spooky season episode. 2 days after Halloween, but that's A-okay. It's Halloween every day. But yes, I'm here playing once again Rial Othervan, the arcane trickster rogue, now revenant, still shadow piercer. And costume, I think I'm in the same boat where I saw at least a photo And I think like little tiny toddler me was Kermit the Frog. So, yeah. Should we if we can find these pictures, yeah.
I want all of these pictures, yes.
A recreation, yes.
Even better. The side by side.
I have not aged well.
That's fine. We'll put it in the dockets. Speaking of costumes, I like what's going on up here. How you doing, Gus?
Oh, thank you very much, Jake. That's right. I am your boy, Gus, 2 Blunts Langley, and I am wearing the finest silk robe that an emperor could ever buy. Very excited about tonight's sesh. I will be playing Divot, the Lightning Dodger, your resident Revenant OG, and all-around fun time. At the risk of being a little bit of a downer, the first costume that I ever remember wearing, God, tell me you were poor without telling me you were poor. A fitted yellow sheet that my mom cut the eye holes out of, and they were askew. It didn't look good at all, and I definitely got made fun of. But I had a great time, and that's all that really matters. And it was all uphill from there. So that being said, I'm going to send good Red Ranger vibes, because that's what I was the next year, over to Bam. Boom.
Oh. It's ooh, look at it. Goddamn. All right, Gus, I'm gonna do both. Okay, so baby first costume like that I see in pictures. I was the cutest little bumblebee that you ever saw in your life, with little wings and little bumblebee butt. But because it's funny, Gus, you mentioning the Red Ranger ties directly in. We were also poor. And I recall, I'm going to tell you my most tragic Halloween story, costume. Was one year I was the Red Ranger. You know, we bought the really cheap plastic one with the crappy vinyl costume that just was terrible. The following year, we didn't want to buy another costume. So I was like, hey, you know what would be cool if I was the Gold Ranger. Now this was before Tommy had gone White Ranger. So this was groundbreaking at the time. We spray painted the mask gold. We changed up the outfit. I was at school for 5 minutes. And the entire crotch blew out of the costume. And I hid crying in the bathroom for an hour before my principal called my mom and made her come pick me up. So, yeah, let's all share in that fun memory. See, you get a little insight to why I am who I am. But yes, my first costume was the Bumblebee. By the way, guys, obviously, if you have these pictures of you as little babies dressed up in little costumes, you get them to me immediately, and I'll have you fight them in game. All right, dudes, we got us a little ritual around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but in order to kick this thing off, we got to take a lighter like this. I'm still rocking that T-Rex on a moped in front of the full moon lighter. Look around, make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. Light us up. Oh, it's so pretty. Let's play some fucking D&D.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load a bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
Ooh. All right, guys. Holy crap. Let me get my cloak on. It's all cattywampus. There we go. All right. If you will please allow me to set the mood. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they gathered at the docks of Elmira, preparing for their journey to Nombuldir. After having chased the fey corrupted Kraken to the ancient chamber that held the tier of the Primordials, the Five decided to allow Queen Mab, sister of Queen Titania, to retrieve the artifact when she announced that her plans would stifle both her sister and Sithis' goals. Believing in the knowledge shared that only through the Queen of Ice and Shadow can the realm of men survive what is to come, Tynna and Rial absolved themselves of the tier's magical sorrow within the Church of Eternus and found comfort in their unique bond. In a library within the ancient kingdom, Brunor learned the truth of the Gauntlet of Power, pried from the hands of Exonius, and its direct connection to Urgon the Archmagus and a circle of powerful wizards, including Sithis, that had sealed the Primordial's tier within the containment runes 2,000 years before. Brian, the Dracodile, shared his knowledge gleaned from Kurtelmach, that it was a wish used by the Luckblade that made them believe they were the five of the Shekinah prophecy. But only one of them truly is. After Thoricus' discovery of a powerful hidden tome and arrest within the hut of Divot, they pressed onward in search of answers to the questions that linger in the back of their mind. Little throwback. All right, guys, we jump back in. You're all standing on the docks, right before the ship, the Queen Anne, left to you by the drowned hounds, even though they are nowhere to be found. Surrounding you, populating the docks nearby, are, several hundred of these stone statues brought to life, infused with both souls of the forgotten Elmirans and those wandering souls in the realm of death, stripped of their fear, stripped of their sorrow, filtered through Rial and Divot, and passed along to grant them a new life, their own decision. Brunor absconding her control over them, relieving them of their ties to the nation of Elmira. You look around, and like I said, one of the ships is gone. So you guys know that, Captain Creefus, Dr. Gast, and whoever of the rest of the drowned hounds that were with him likely took this ship and left. You see Toko standing on the deck of the Queen Anne, unscathed, hasn't been involved in any of the battles or any of the things that have gone on it. It appears that the ship and this area was left pretty much untouched. You can't help but look back upon the city of Elmira all around you, particularly you, Brunor, as you prepare once more to leave, this time in a much different mental state than when you were the last time. Fleeing from a conquering emperor, an emperor that you have now killed. You can't help but feel the humming magic power of the gauntlet of power at your hand, prying it, watching Thoricus and you both, basically swallow a disintegration in order to get it off of him, and now having that same destructive power at your own grasp. You kind of look around and you see the stone people seem a little bit put off, like they don't know what to do with you, Brunor. There's some secret calling from within them that says perhaps they should kneel, but taking this gift that you've given them, they feel it not right to still fawn upon you as if you're their leader. But you can't help but catch a couple of their stone frames kind of looking over and just watching at what you do as you leave this dock. Brunor, as you step upon the actual ship itself, the Queen Anne, you feel this kind of harmonic resonance from within your very core. That feeling that you last felt when the bright blue royal energy washed over the kingdom, pulled out from you in that intense magical moment in the throne room. And you feel that same calling to your familial destiny resonating through the ship as once more you see the spirits that serve the ship, the Queen Anne. You had witnessed them once before. You see them all materialize. They all turn, their faces look at you, gaunt, soulless, but not slaves as you've seen, like the shadows. Like these spirits are connected to their purpose, and their purpose is to keep this ship moving, to crew this ship. And you see, Brunor, as opposed to the stone shadow people who, refuse to kneel, you watch as the spirits all around the ship, probably 50 in number, begin bowing before you for a brief moment, and then they go about their work. You see them pick up the ropes and, start putting the barrels and everything inside under the decks. If you recall, this whole ship seals and prevents water from getting inside, so you can travel almost like in a submarine. And so you see as they begin going about that process of getting the ship ready to go. But you all stand there at the docks, having just recently relinquished the tier of the primordials to the queen, in your various experiences in the library and such. So, there you stand in the fallen city of Elmira once more, just kind of taking a look around. What do you guys want to do?
So as I'm walking on the docks and stuff, I want to acknowledge everybody that kind of is looking at me, because I just want to kind of break the tension a little bit. So I always go like, "Shalom, shalom."
All right, you see, one of the stone guys walks by, almost like intentionally keeping his eyes from you. And you see there's you want to instill these people with the faith. They are their own creatures now. And as he kind of turns his head away, you grab him by the shoulder and give him a good handshake. And you see he looks up and he's like, "Whoa, Brunor, I never thought that I would see you again, man. It's a great honor. Wow. What a day." And he goes to give you a high five.
Shell yeah, baby. No,
So,
of course. I'm
answering-
happy to be back, and I'm happy to see some bros, you know?
she's like, right on, yeah. And he like gives you the little like Elmiran hang loose sign. So where are you going now, man? Like, I mean, shit, isn't this like what you were here for in the first place? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's kind of giving me a little bit of an existential crisis, you know? Like, I did the thing that I was gonna do, thinking I was gonna die, and I didn't die. But
You're not
you know
dead,
what?
man.
I know, I didn't. I definitely didn't die like I planned. So, I guess instead, we're gonna go to Nambelvir, and I'm gonna kick my sister's ass.
Oh man, yeah, Laura, man. Phew, she's bad apple, man.
Joe, listen, cha.
Well, I mean, like, seriously, thanks for like freedom and like the ability to choose. Like, that's like really righteous of you.
You know what? After everything that my family put all of you through, I decided like this stops here, you know? So it's the least I could fucking do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you see Brunor, he just like instinctively like grabs a little nearby board and starts kind of surfing the water around you. He's like, yo, check this out though, bro. And he's like, oh yeah. Brunor, come on, ride with us. And you see a couple of the other stone people are like, oh shoot, is Brunor gonna ride? And they all start kind of coming over to you.
Oh, shit. Baby, I'm a ride. Oh.
All right, you see, I think you're muted. You see as Brian like quickly like kind of is like, oh heck yeah. You know, you see he posts down. Now, if you recall, you haven't had a good like Brunor ride on Brian in a while. You know, he's flying now, but you're underwater, you know, in your element. So what do you want to do for these guys? You kind of got them all gathered around, you're trying to inspire them a bit.
Okay, let me think. So I definitely want to like they have their board, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I'm gonna ride on Brian. I kind of want to give Brian a ride because he's got wings now, so we can do all sorts of crazy shit.
He does do awesome stuff, yeah.
Yes. So I'd like to get on Brian. I want to try to attempt like, so Tuna Hawk has this signature move.
Yes.
It's called the 900.
Right, obviously, I know.
So I would like to attempt to get some movement going. I want to do some wall rides. Like I'm kind of doing some little things. If I can do some nose grinds and shit, like, you know, with you know, Brian like making his way through. It's not like he like grinds his face on it. He definitely like glides right above it and stuff. It's about that control. And we make our way up and we try to get like some, I want to get up into the air and do a 900 and then land. Cool.
Yeah, I want you to, but you're gonna have to roll for it.
I know.
All right,
I know
so
you're gonna make me do that.
choosing Brian was a wise choice. Now, Brian and yours connection is you know legendary at this point. You guys, you think so alertly together that having Brian as your board rather than like say the Maiden's board or another piece of wood like they used, it will grant you advantage on your animal handling check. So go ahead and give me an animal handling, Brunor.
All right, let's see what happens. 16.
Nice. All right, so you're a little out of practice, Brunor. You pull off the 720 goofy. All right, so you land, you invert your feet, and you know you're not going to make the 900, but you pull it off. Like it's like you almost act as if you were never going for the 900, but you just flip back on the 720 and then grind Brian down one of these tall rooftops, you know, kind of spinning around through the open windows of these now mostly abandoned buildings, you know, coming out with like a different hat on each time you come out of a different window. You just see everybody in the crowd, you know, and those of you present too watching Brunor, you see like almost a dozen of these stone people, the ones that seem kind of closer to the Elmiran legacy have kind of gathered and are just like celebrating. All of you have now had one of your big long-time questions answered. All sea elves talk like this. So, it's not just Brunor and affectation, but the sea elf people tend to have this affectation to their voice. So yeah, you see as like a group of them have all gathered up there. Oh, this is serpent, man! Holy crap! She's slaying that serpent, bro! And they're all just kind of high-fiving and broing out in the deep sea. Brunor, this has worked, okay? So you kind of see, again, that the mood around was a little gloomy. Not in the sense of sadness, but just like nobody was sure of what to do with themselves. And again, seeing the free spirit that Brunor is, the life and the zest of her, the willing to ride at any time, that just badass bravado of the blue lady. You've managed to inspire these folks around you. That sense of gloom amongst them has almost faded away entirely, and you kind of start seeing them realize that just living is probably the answer to their question. It's not about how to live, but to let that life live out in the moment. And who better to show them that than Brunor the Serpent?
Yeah, even though everything can get taken away, it can prove to be an epic opportunity for you to do anything else, right?
Right.
So I think that's cool.
So Brunor, as you kind of settle, after your trick and the gathering is done, Thoricus, Divot, Rial, and Tynna, you're all still kind of standing back, doing the equivalent of signing autographs, almost like that crowd rushes Brunor, and they're just like hyping her up a lot. You can see the mood has kind of changed. Thoricus, you feel a tap on your shoulder. Kind of turn around and look, and you see it's actually a stone gargoyle. All right, so you just see like the big, the stone wings behind it, as if one of the gargoyles from the building was like given life and just hopped off and walked down. And you see this creature kind of looks down upon you with these dark sullen eyes, and he's like, "You are the Stone Reaver, correct?"
Who's asking? You
I
thought
served.
Say, yep, you thought I was.
I served in your sister kingdom. I know what you did.
No, you don't. I didn't do anything. Right, guys?
I mean no disrespect. I simply wish to know. What had Beckus done? Why did you kill him? I can respect a man who kills. I must know why.
I didn't. I didn't kill him. He was like my father.
He was a great man.
I was set up. I've been set up.
You see, he kind of sits back for a moment, like this moment of enlightenment. Just having never considered this, he kind of sits back softly. The Shave Fist. Were you betrayed?
Of course I was.
I knew it. We used to talk of your accomplishments in our battle camp, and the news shook our people greatly. I died in a battle on the plains near Kumara, against the Smurv-Neblin and their traps, machinations from below. I floated in the plane of death and pondered why heroes change. I see now that I was wrong. You see, he looks over his shoulder. I have been asked to lead these men. You kind of look over his shoulder. Thoricus, you count anywhere between about 500-600 people behind you, kind of like, again, working around the docks. The people that seemed to move together toward this location after the great freeing ritual. And I would ask the Stone Reaver how I should lead them.
Well, buddy, I'm gonna tell you. Leadership is tough. If you're gonna take these guys and do whatever you do with them, it's gonna be on your shoulders. So I guess just lead them well. I don't know what to tell you other than that. We could probably use some help. We're about to go do some dope shit. Brunor can attest to that. King, my bud.
Ah, yes. Some of the stone people still swear lineage to their family line. I am not one of those souls. Again, no disrespect.
None taken. So yeah, I'm not sure how you should lead your people, but we're gonna go do dope shit. You're welcome to come along. Actually, I mean, I think it'd be cool to get to know like stone people as a stone, like someone who used to cut stone. I think, you know, we might have a lot in common. We could, you know.
Ah, yes, to reave us as you reave the stone. He laughs.
I am pretty.
I do not wish to lead these people granted with a new life into immediate death. Do you know where I should take my army? Is there a battle to be ready for?
You know what? There is. But I think because you're stone people, we know this awesome, like, I'm not sure what to call Melora, like
He was a primordial.
a primordial. Yeah, it was like a titan or, you know, something.
It all kind of fits into that.
One of the big guys. Made of stone, mountain-esque. You guys might love it. He could use the company. Been alone for a while. We just cleared his taint. Feeling super good. Could use some buds.
Clean as a whistle.
You know what I mean? And just a hop, skip, and a jump away from where we're about to go do some dope shit. So maybe we can party. What do you think?
You see, he considers. I'm familiar with the myth of Melora, of the primordials before. If what you say is true, what better place for the stone to be reaved?
Am I right?
So, Thoricus, Andrew, this is to step outside. So I just want to. So the idea is going to be to send the stoned navy over to Melora the Mountain. And you're absolutely right. That is a great. In fact, if you don't have an inspiration point, take one. Because yes, Melora was extremely lonely. As part of his, there was. Now he's also a little messed up right now. Like his head has been ripped off and is floating toward. Well, you don't even know where. I do. I know, but you don't. So the idea being, though, send this again, I would say probably 600 in number, this fleet of stone toward the Malachite Mountain to kind of be ready for if you need them.
I mean, I'm thinking like Melora's already on our side. Could use the company. These guys are, comparatively to Melora, about this big around. I'm thinking artillery, baby, from far away. Melora can just somehow just boop these stone men into our battlefield.
The skipping stones?
Yes. Yes.
Also, Thoricus, ever the battlefield tactician, that's right next to your guys' home base as well, the city of Amarella.
What?
And so it's like
considered.
Sure. And so, but yes, again, I love that. So absolutely take the inspiration point for that, because that solves several quandaries kind of in that same moment. You see he looks upon you, Thoricus. He's much taller just because he's this, again, he's like a 12-foot tall stone statue. And so he's kind of hunched over. But you see whereas before he was a bit standoffish in his, his body, his wings kind of spanned, his chest swelled out. You see him kind of kneel in a little bit of tribute to you, acknowledging the strength of you. Again, pretty quickly swayed by the truth of your condition, something he had never considered. So you see he turns back and he goes, I shall lead them, Thoricus, Stone Reaver, as I believe Beckus would have led them. Long may his memory be pure. So he stands up before you, kind of looks at the rest of you guys there. I am honored to see warriors of such strength. He looks back at his army. I fear they are not yet ready. He looks back at you, Thoricus. But they will be. And you see, he kind of bows to you guys, turns around, he's like, all right, boys, let's get to work. And his big gargoyle wings flap, and all these stone soldiers start, manning up the ships. And they are gonna head off to Melora the Mountain.
What's your name, Gargoyle?
By the way, just real quick. Sorry, I'm Thoricus, the dwarf.
You see, he turns.
You know me though. So who are you?
You see, he turns and looks at you as if he has kind of forgot himself. So you're assuming he's probably been dead for quite some time. They once called me Chulak, the leveler. My blade would cleave the fields dry. He looks at his gargoyle hands. But that was another life. And Divot, Rial, that kind of pings something inside your own chests. The reality of the separation between what you are now and what you were so long ago. Rial specifically, that sorrow hangover from your time spent near the tier, that intense sorrow remembering Lady Legalo, and the fallen, the only person to show you kindness quickly in your time was Sumner Milton after those 7 long years of torture at the hands of Ergon. That mention of it being another life, and how many other lives come into play in the concept of who and what you are at this very point. And you kind of find yourself, again, in the back of your mind, you start feeling like those old fears, this, what am I, who am I, what is this, what am I to become? And in the waters around you, you start to hear a chuckle. Yes. Your sorrows, Rial, so delicious. And again, it's kind of like when you heard Ergon in your mind, where you're not sure, you're kind of looking around at the people around you, and it doesn't seem that they have heard this.
Huh. Best friend, did you hear anything weird there? Just for a second.
I did, but I was so busy jazzing this fucking new army that I just got us up. I wasn't really even listening, but they are so fucking hype. You'd be super proud of me. Do you have an important thing going on that I should have been paying attention to?
No, I just want to let you know I'm proud of you for jazzing them up so good.
Oh man, you're the best.
Got you, buddy. I think something's trying to eat my sorrows or something. I'll get back to you.
All right, that's weird. I love you.
I love you.
Is a kiss it and put it away.
Save that for later.
So yes, Rial, you're extremely perceptive. Your passive perception alone is good enough to tell you, as you look around, you don't see any other disturbance. Just that little bit of, as those words were spoken, it triggered an emotion, and then that emotion seemed to ping something. And you're, looking around, you see the purple and emerald rooftops, looking at all these hollow windows, these empty buildings. For a second, it's almost like your own mind starts playing tricks on you as you look around. You're like, is there somebody in that window? No, surely. And it's, you can't help but feel almost like you're having a little bit of a panic attack.
I almost wonder, just because that voice is so curious, and I don't have the same abilities that the buddy Divot has, where I don't know if I can communicate back, but it seemed to be triggered off of that, like you said, the sorrow hangover. So I'm just going to put a little sorrowful memory out there to see what that does. Throw a little bait out in the water. And that memory is actually when Brunor confronted Sumner Milton and called him out on his shit. He was he pretty much raised me with what I was, and to learn that he went to such lengths as to kill a child for synthesis, that was a hard moment for me to stomach. It was even tough to look at the guy with his stupid dummy shame cloth. Like that hurt when one of your mentors, when you're not an idol per se, but when you learn just about those skeletons in their closet.
Yes, a sorrow that it almost compounds in your mind, the fact that he bears that same sorrow, that he is so disgusted by what he had done, that so it double hurts. It hurts because it hurts him, and it hurts because it hurts within him. And so you, do you say it, or do you just think it?
Just thinking it.
Okay.
See if it seemed to be something in the back of the mind, and man, I was doing so good. No voices back there for the longest time.
It's been nice. We haven't had a lot of stuff going on in the back of the mind in a while.
It's been good.
But yes, again, it is so familiar because of that. You have been haunted by not one but many, spectral magical beings in your time. Your battles against Auntie Agatha and the nightmares that she inflicted, and like these various high magical beings. And so you send the thought to the back of your mind. And you hear in reply, delicious. Such sorrow. And Rial, you notice, like out in the, you look beyond the city itself, into the great void of the ocean. And far off, almost at the end of your vision, you swear you see two yellow eyes appear in the dark blue depths. The sun doesn't penetrate, only the phosphorescent algae of these cities it allows the area around you to be illuminated, but with no aid from the sun, just the speckles of ocean dust spill down from above. But you see these two yellow dots appear in the darkness as you feel that tickle in the back of your mind, and once more, what sorrows have you for me? So rich in sadness. And you just feel him kind of consuming this sadness that comes from a very deep well within your soul, Rial. You unfortunately are a very tortured person, and whatever this thing is, it certainly seems to be connecting to that.
Well, I got plenty for him. I just don't know if I want to keep feeding him at this rate.
Yeah, you kind of like, put the top on the jar. Rial, you're like, oh, buddy, if you like sadness, just sit down, bro. It's Thanksgiving.
Just don't be creepy glowing eyes in the depths of the ocean. Seriously, the deep, dark void of the bottom of the sea. The fucking worst.
I got a little tingle, I'm not going to lie. I was like, ooh, leave me alone, Brandon.
You got your deep end of the pool sharks, and then you got deep sea. Like, that's the only thing worse. Like,
there's definitely sharks in the pool. Can we just settle that? Like, if the lights are off, there's a shark in the pool. Maybe by the time you turn the lights on, the shark is gone. But motherfuckers, there's a shark in the pool at night. Every time.
Fast.
Every time. I had a friend who had a friend. That's all lies. All right. So yes, Rial, that shiver up your spine, shared by one of my favorite people, Jake Taylor, is also felt through the spine of Rial Othravan. As you look out into the dark void. But that's all it is. It doesn't take any kind of shape around it or anything. Just these two blots of yellow light, and no more communication.
Okay, noted for now. We'll put a dog ear on that one, because.
You stem the flow of sorrow, and you see the eyes shut. And just once more, the kind of flowing void of just the depth and sheer mass of the ocean in front of you. The light's now gone, just the algae glowing around you, illuminating the kingdom.
I don't like that, Bam. I don't like that one bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll keep repeating that for a minute there. Maybe if he decides to come a little closer and we figure out what the hell it is.
At this point, Divot and Tynna, you guys have kind of been standing there watching Thoricus, deal with the thing. You see Rial pensively kind of just wanders, doing some of that Rial's weird shit stuff as Brunor's dealing with her group, but there you two stand, as none of the gargoyles have approached you, and you guys kind of each standing there. You can't help but again just kind of be like, and you look over at each other, half brother and half sister at one point, what you are now, and what Divot is, some of these these terms have not yet been defined, amongst you. But there you stand after one more, incredible adventure. Another, throws into the depths of sorrow and high magical adventures. But yet again, prepared to chart off into a new adventure. You guys kind of stand there. Anything you guys want to take care of?
I just, Tynna looks over at Divot and just like takes it all in and like says, I'm tired, but it's pretty cool to see how far it's all come, right?
I pop my hood up. Yeah, pretty cool.
Cool.
The ever-changing, relationship between the two of you, always on display, Tynna, you can't help but look at Divot in this moment and, you reflect a little bit upon the offer of the Green Lady for you, and how what good you could have done with that kind of responsibility to take the throne of death away from the cold, creature that sits on it currently. And instill that love and life and bounty of the Green Lady upon the other phase of life. For what is death but, part of that cycle of life and rebirth. And so
I turn to Tynna and I say, I know what you're thinking. You should have taken the throne. I say like exactly what you just said. Because Dad told me that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Whoa. I was gonna ask you what you thought about death. And it's like you read my mind. Huh.
There's no life without death. But what death doesn't understand is if he doesn't get a life, there's no death without life either.
Yeah.
He's become a little one track. And I don't think you jumping in would have been the solution. But I do think a shakeup is in the mix.
I think you're right. Huh. Interesting.
All right, you guys, you kind of, each of you has your respective moment, kind of the last summation of your time spent in this town, these new people and their new lives, and gathered once more, you stand in front of the Queen Anne. Rial, you can't spot the eyes anymore, you look around and, you feel unsettled, but it's just your own mind in the shadows playing tricks on you. The illuminated algae also casts heavy, stark shadows that move in windows like people's shoulders. A little shaky, but that whatever that thing is, it's out there somewhere. What do you guys want to do?
I'll only spring up my little buddy here real fast. It's been a minute since I've had my little cuddly cat. And I know it's about 10 minutes to bring in Find Familiar, but
yeah.
And if I can throw out just a little taste of the sorrowful memory I have of him at the same time as we're summoning him, see if there's no little ping out there in the icky, scary, deep, dark ocean.
Nice. Yeah, we haven't seen Kindly in a little while, since, granted, it was super sad the last time we did, so I get it. But yes, calling upon your Find Familiar, summoning him from this pocket dimension, this place inside your mind, Rial, that you now know. It's like, like Kindly, the whole creation of what he is, this cat that you summoned, an amalgamation of your sorrows and how you survived the time in Urgon's dungeon, as you had spells racked on your body time and time again as you snuck away and, got as many books from the cloister as you could to pass away the hours. You always felt like the books that you were being able to read, he was allowing you to read because they always had this message of hope in them, and then you'll get away soon. A lot of these, the long-haired maiden that allows the knight to climb the tower. By feeding those hopes within you, he accidentally filled you with quite a bit of knowledge as well, and so you became a rather smart, you're a very intelligent elf. And so yeah, you call upon our favorite cat, Kindly. Sorry.
Kitty.
And you see, boom, the two-tailed, the cat with galaxy eyes and silverish hair, a creature of arcane energy by its nature. It's two long, poofy tails that stick out from the rear. And you see he looks up at you, Rial. And again, a little more cognizance than like a standard familiar. There's something about this cat, as he looks at you and you see the spinning galaxies within its eyes. And he's like, hello, Rial. It is good to see you again. And he reaches to his head, and he summons the top hat once again. You see, he sets it on his head, and when he does, this little like gilded scarf kind of wraps around his shoulders, and you see the silver monocle appears, and you have fancy kindly appears before you.
Oh, fancy kindly. I don't have a hat to offer, but I will pantomime the tipping of a hat. Good to see you as well. And then give him some chin scritchels and like, we're both dead now, bub.
Ah, isn't that interesting? And then you see, as you're like petting him, and his little cat chin is going up, and his two tails are like twitching weirdly because cats do that. You see, as suddenly, as if the exact way you did, you see him, and he looks over into the void of darkness, exactly where you had seen the eyes.
Cats
Do you
know.
see that? Do you see what I see?
What do you see, friend?
Cold, yellow eyes. I hear laughter. How strange. You see, he kind of straightens himself up and he looks back over. Oh, now they're gone. You see, he's basically just gone through exactly the same cycle you did, Rial.
I swear, you know, when a cat spots something, they just...
Well, cats know shit.
Mm-hmm.
Look, cats know shit, okay? We know this.
Strange indeed. I saw it too, and now it is indeed gone, but I thought you'd pick up on that.
You see the hairs that had stood up on his back at the sight have calmed down now. And you see he looks at you with, it's galaxy eyes, man. They're all knowing in a way, and he looks at you as... Now, but again, you have constructed this cat out of memories. You remember watching the real... I'm not going to touch it too much, but the real Kindly had very bad time, and in his memory, you summoned this version of Kindly. But as such, Kindly is made of your mind stuff. So he's not exactly, privy to knowledge beyond your thoughts and experience. So you can bounce stuff off him, but he's not really great for giving you new information.
No, sometimes it helps. Like when you have to just sit down in front of a mirror and give it to yourself straight as close as you can. It's basically that kind of a thing. Sometimes you just gotta pose, and then you're just like, oh, all right.
Yeah, you see, completely unshocked by you being a revenant now. That information did not. It's like as oh yes, and I borrowed a book on Tuesday. You see, there was no shift in him.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, where's my Kindly? Hold up, I'll get him. Where's he at? There he is. Hold up. All right.
Yeah, Snapchat that Kindly.
My old loading page. I had to go back to the old loading page. Not yet. He's not out yet. Let me see. I'm just gonna make him big. It's probably easiest. Yeah. Yeah, with the galaxy eyes. You don't see the two tails, but there you go. But of course, oh no, I've got the one with him in the hat too. I ruined everything. But yes, that's the token at least for him. So yeah, you summon Kindly. 10 minutes go by. I think you can actually just pull him from the pocket dimension once you've summoned him, which you had.
Okay.
So yeah, you've got Kindly with you again. Like any of the benefits of the familiar, he can do all that stuff with you, and he is, you see, very happy to see you.
Sweet. And I just want us both to watch Bruno doing these sick fucking Brian flips. I don't think he's seen Brian full Dracodile yet either, so.
That's true, yes. And they were, Brian kept trying to eat him back in the day, so. He's like, oh.
It's
just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Just for fun. Cool. So while you're watching me, I think I'm going to finish up and then start making my way up to the ship. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruno. As you kind of step upon the ship, you see the servants all basically waiting now. The ship has been readied. It is prepared to go, and it waits only on your command.
Excellent. So I just make sure everybody, or is there anything else anybody needs to do before we go? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no, so let's go.
Yeah, move forward, right? There's nothing here left to do, right?
It's a noble deer, baby. Let's go. So,
Never missing an opportunity for a good sea shanty. I dramatically swing back and forth on the poop deck and start getting the troops riled up. And we start a cool, like I don't even know the words. They start singing. I'm like, oh.
Thanks, Gus. Yes, you see, that was the dopest move I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know the words, the people that you made up have to know the words to the song. But yes, you see, Divot, you step up, Brunor, you kind of stand near where the opening to the captain's deck is. I'm gonna bring you guys over here, just because I did make a little Queen Anne map for us.
Oh.
As soon as we're on the boat, everybody's like, "Oh, little Queen Anne!" Like, whoa.
Oh, hello then.
Queen Anne, isn't it?
Not bad, huh?
Sorry.
So, do you guys see that?
Yep.
Sweet.
All the sea shanties are just the soundtrack of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, pretty much.
Yeah, some Vandals music starts playing.
and just because Crazy Taxi.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
a sea shanty, like 96 Quite Bitter Beings medley.
So you guys step aboard again to Queen Anne. Now you see, again, this is like the top, and then the depths is what's below. That's just the inside beneath it. But you do see there are 2 cannons that have been affixed in the time since you've been there. You imagine Toko's probably been busy just setting up better defenses, as he's so wont to do, the mercenary, leader that he was. You see there is, again, when the trapdoor that leads inside literally summons when you think of it. So, each of you independently is like, and you look down and it opens for you and then it closes. But all of you know, like, just through thought, by being the masters of this ship, you can open and close that at your will. On the top deck, there is that kind of like boxed topped area where the stairs kind of lead up to Captain Creefus's chamber, which again is solid wall until you think for the door to appear. But you guys see that, on the top decks. But the ship itself has been set. I apologize, there's like barrels and stuff on there. I know I just said those were put below. This, bear with me. Bear with me, guys. Just barrel with me here.
Barrel with me.
Hey, I don't see anything that looks like a penis on this map, so that's
Give me a second.
a win. Cannons look like penises by themselves. I didn't make it look like a penis.
Just let me print it up real quick.
I know, I'm terrified now. Honestly, like I said that, and then I was like, wait, you better look, because they're gonna find it if there is. And if your penis looks like this ship, there's a phone number you should call.
Do you have the soft focus, like one of those, like, seeing eye books?
All right. So yeah, you guys are on board the ship. Divot, you start. Give me a performance check there, buddy.
Gladly.
While he's doing that, I kind of like, while he's starting to do his performance, like me and the rest of the 5, it'd be fun if I kind of hang back for a second and tell them what happened in the library.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But like, I want the performance to happen, and then like we're kind of on the side, maybe in like, hey, so by the way.
Yeah. Like, well, whatever they're up to.
So, 19 and 24, and I have advantage on performance stuff.
That's right, because of the hat of the Harlequin, if I'm not mistaken.
Fuck yeah.
So Divot, you start a simple sea shanty, just humming a tune, and then you see the spirits all around you, like ooh, start chanting along with you. You see that the pace of the song is set to the rhythm of the work that they must do to proceed through the ship. And though there be no real rows, it's almost as if they pull this ship through the waters of the material plane by reaching out with their will. And so you see the strikes of each of the beats of your shanty as each one of them goes about their business, swarthing in and out. Ooh. You begin your song, and you see that magic energy that permeates off of you again as a glamour bard, even though far more warlock now. This performance, akin to the glamour bard within. You see that spectral kind of pink wind that you've seen wash through simple towns along your journey, where it just kind of pacifies and brings about a good spirit in the wind around the magics that is Divot, as you connect to both this boat, the spirits, the moment, the breath of this thing, adding in the lines, including Brian into the myth and kindly as well. You see kind of the full formation of the 7 entities of this group, even though you are the Ferocious Five. The song starts ringing true and the ship begins starting to move. Brunor, now it's like you guys are standing there, you guys have jello shots and stuff, and like everybody else is drinking champagne. You're just like, oh, I feel like I'm at the wrong party. You guys are kind of standing off to the side. And is there anything specifically you wanted to say about the library?
So, when you went to the library, there was like a cool ghosty bro that read books like real fast, like Thoricus. When I tell you this guy read a book, I'm telling you, he actually read 2.
He didn't even have to eat it.
He didn't even have to eat it. He didn't even have to eat it.
2 pages or 2 books?
No, Thoric, yes, 2 books.
No.
In like 2 seconds.
No.
It was fucking gnarly.
False. This is false information. I refuse to.
I saw him do it with my own fly balls, man. So, anyways.
You know what, I trust you.
See, and then a peach happened and we ate the peach and I learned a lot about this guy. It does a lot of shit. We'll get into that later, but it belonged to Aragon.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So,
Rial, at the mention of Ergon, your mind goes to the place that it always does. The 7 years of abject torture that you suffered at the hands of this twisted mage, who, from what has had his part to play in the creation of what you are, as Anti-Agatha and the fractionation rituals that separated you from Synthesis. And that little moment, again, almost as if in that moment with the gargoyle, Chaluk, who had that drift of memory, pings your sorrow once more. You get a quick flash of, again, the crushing body of your friend at the hands of Ergon, the chamber below, the magics racked upon your body. And you hear that, oh, yes, so sad. And you just see these little yellow dot eyes, Rial, boop, 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 start appearing all around you in the darkness. Delicious, such sorrows. Divot, your robe of eyes suddenly, you start seeing them paint in all around you. You're looking around and you see Brunor, Tynna, you guys suddenly, like you're being surrounded by all of these little yellow pinprick eyes. You hear the evil laughter. Oh, feed me your sorrows. Helix, the Sorrowmonger, comes for your sadness. And that's where we're going to pick it up after intermission, guys.
He's so spooky and I hate him.
Ooh, little Halloween. Ooh, holy shit. All right, guys. We do us a little 10-minute intermission around here. It serves several purposes. One, make sure you fill up your water. Make sure you're hydrating at home. We haven't had any crits tonight, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you're keeping along, always be hydrating. Big water. We're talking about you, baby. But we have all this incredible fan art submissions and just incredible artists who've created all these amazing pieces. We put them in the intermission. There's some incredible time lapses of art for some of the newer characters. Queen Mab is in there. Quab, if you remember, if I said that wrong last time.
Quab.
Oh, Quab. But yes, incredible art. Oh my God, check it out. We are so blessed to have any of this at all, and it is littered all over the table in front of me, and that honestly is what gets me in the mood. And all this incredible music by the brilliant Sandy Stein. All the music you hear on the show is original, made by one brilliant man, and we love him so much. So hang with us 10 minutes, hydrate, make sure you use the restroom, grab yourself a snack if you're feeling the munchies. And we'll be back in 10 minutes to figure out what the fuck is up with this little yellow eye guy. This bog is huge. What's up, buds? Welcome back to WeeDnD, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. Holy crap, guys. It's getting a little spoopy around here. We just left the Five as they were leaving the city of Elmira, the fallen kingdom of Brunor's homeland, now with the freedom granted back to her people. You know, they all sit up on deck of the Queen Anne as it begins to leave out of the shore. You know, the magical wood holding their feet to the boards as it does. The spiritual servants that set the boat to motion, all about their various tasks. But they were all left surrounded by cackling yellow eyes. And that's where we're going to jump back in. You guys are standing, you know, aboard the Queen Anne. You see the, not having been called by your minds, both the trapdoor and the door that goes into where Captain Creefus's cabin was are sealed shut. You know, the ship itself, though moving through the ocean, still holds your feet to the wood of the ship by magic. You see the newly added cannons from Toko on either side of the ship. You know, you all are kind of looking around as you're now very aware of these thousands of eyes, and you watch them kind of start swirling all around you.
Yes, your sorrows. I must have your sorrows. Welcome to the Despondent Sea.
You see the color of the waters around you kind of turns to this dark green and blue. Little blotches of strange sea stuff kind of float in the waters around you. But you watch as all 1,000 eyes finally all come to a point far off in front of the ship, you know, hundreds of feet away. You see the yellow eyes shining through the darkness, just devoid of the empty sea behind it. You see sagging skin starts to appear, highlighted by the yellow, fierce eyes of the creature. You see as they glow in the darkness, the outlines of a small, tainted throne, or a crown, sit upon its forehead, withered skin and hair hanging all around. You know, as the ship gets closer and you feel the energy of the ship moving forward, the light of the eyes starts to show you the hollow, sunken teeth and face of this haunting visage before you. And as you ride into the sea, boom, this is what you see. This apparition is what you see staring back at you. So, let me move it over here just so it's a little easier. So yes, you see this strange withered vision of this spectral being with this large crown upon his head with these pointed tips and withered silver hair that hangs down over his gaunt face. You hear the sound that's been emanating in all of your minds kind of coming from the fixed point in front of you. What brings you for Helix, the Sorrowmonger? And he holds his withered hand out towards you guys. What do you do?
Do I know this guy? He's like so close to the place I grew up. Do I have? Is this?
Give me a history check, Bruno. No. I'm sorry, it's Halloween. It's the scariest skill check.
Oh,
Come on.
This Halloween history.
All right, Rial, I need you to give me a history check too.
Yeah. History.
Go!
oh my God, yes.
Yo, the spell is broken.
We did it, guys. We did it.
I'm just gonna light this that bonus.
It's too bad. You rolled a monster crit. A monster crit.
A monster crit. It was the shit.
Smoke the monster hash.
The monster hash. All right, Rial.
It was the graveyard stash.
It was the graveyard stash. Man, we got work to do on this song, guys. Like, we found our other calling is the remake of Monster Mash.
We've got the skeleton laid out. We're okay.
Mm-hmm. We need the skeleton. All right, Rial. In this moment, as you kind of gaze upon this creature in the shadows, you can't help but feel like you've seen this thing before. Like it's, you're digging through your mind for like all the different potential, many visages that you've seen in your time. And a rather fresh one comes to mind. You recall as you bore witness to the circle of the primordials and the runes that were there. And you see Brunor kind of standing there with her hand in the gauntlet, as the pages of time that were turned for her when she learned that knowledge. That benefited knowledge is also stemmed to you as you kind of comprehend that moment. The circle of mages that sat around. You remember that Ergon was one of them. To the left was Synthesis. And then you look around and most of the other four of the six mages were like ghostly visages. And as your memory kind of connects to the shared mental area, of this magical connection, you kind of put the two together. This thing was one of the wizards present at that ritual that was taking place, where the runes that sealed the tier of the primordials. He was there. He was one of the six wizards.
Huh.
I mean, a crit history check. Good on you. You
That
can't crit
happened to
skill
that.
checks. You can when you get a smoke for them.
I'm immediately intrigued. Like I don't know that, but I see how old this thing is, and it seems sentient, and I'm like,
All right, the ship, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do you want to just keep going toward it? Again, like I said, it's probably a couple hundred feet out in the darkness. Again, but the backdrop of it is just gloomy. No lights, no longer the phosphorescent algae, just the deep, dark void of the ocean, with this pinprick of this haunting visage just floating in the shadows before you.
Rial, you remember when we helped give life to the stone, right? You remember the emotions that we held on to so that they could move on? I held on to the fear. What did you hold on to?
I hold on to the compassion or the sorrow, whatever I can ease them from.
Right, so you got fucking plenty of that shit to spare. Have y'all ever seen a balloon when it has too much air in it?
I've seen the knot in a balloon. It looks like a butthole.
And they say
He's
I'm the one.
right.
It's true.
He's right.
He is right. Now that I'm really thinking about it.
Thoricus, you know what to do. We blow it up.
Okay.
Perfect. Plan set.
Cool.
How?
We give him all of our sads.
Yeah, like more than he overload him.
And it'll burst from
Maybe. Hopefully, we can.
And even if he doesn't, we don't have to hold it anymore.
I don't really sad. I'm mad sometimes, but I really don't sad a lot.
It's only one letter difference, really.
Yeah.
Really? So you might be able to mad at him.
All right, for you guys, I will try.
Smad.
I will try to sad.
Snad.
Smad, you know?
Mad.
Close enough. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like when you're punching a pillow and you're kind of crying. I feel like that's smad.
Yeah, as long as the tears are going the whole time. Just punch into the tears. But I'm all for this plan. I want to let the group know that. Did they hear that his name's Helix? I want them to know, though, that he is one of these. He's a buddy of Urgon's. He's one of the ancient wizards that. You know, what they crafted the gauntlet, right?
So, yeah, just to clarify, so they possessed the gauntlet. As far back as the lineage of the gauntlet went, it appears that Urgon may have been like the first wearer of it. Mm-hmm. And so, and then there was the big ritual with the wizards, one of whom was Synthesis 2,000 years ago with Urgon. And then now you know this creature, this Helix, is also one of the six.
Cool. I point at him with my gauntlet and I say, hey, if we give you sads, will you go away?
Yeah.
You see the eyes grow bright.
I live for it, from it, on it, by it. Feed me if you will, but you cannot whet my appetite. I simply wish to know what makes you sad.
Should we stick with the sad overload or like switch to a happy thoughts kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like this conversation's
yeah.
gonna make me sad, but
That'd be kind of funny to see what happens if I just, and then I fucking Josh! I'm Josh's
Oh, Tom! Did you see it? It was on a 20, and then it went to a 2! All right, Brunor. You're bringing a Josh to a sad fight. There's a saying in there. But yes, you attempt to josh with this creature who, and almost as if, you know, if this creature wets his mouth by the taste of sorrow, it is almost as if he is allergic to this happiness, this joshing around of you. And you see even the spectral crew tries backing you up. They're like, but yes, you see he's like,
This is not sorrow. Feed me your sorrow.
you kind of feel this like rippling energy.
Well, now that my Josh failed, I feel a little sad.
Yes, you see, you know, almost as Rial kind of experienced that like draw of energy pull from his mind. So you in this moment where you're like, oh, that didn't work. The sorrow of a failed Josh state, is enough that you just kind of feel a little bit of your energy draining toward him. You know, you see it kind of disappear in the void of darkness betwixt you and his haunting eyes. But then suddenly you watch as it just kind of wisps into his mouth. His eyes grow bright for a moment.
Yes, so sad.
I yell out to the crew. I'm like, Minor key, boys.
definitely need a key change. I would just like to say to the Felix, is that his name?
Helix.
Helix, I'm sorry.
Yes, Helix the Sorrowmonger.
Helix the Sorrowmonger. I don't really know what to do in this situation, so I'll just ask him. Demon, give us safe passage, and you will have all of the sorrow you desire. I give you my word.
Are you lying, Thoricus?
Do you want me to tell you the truth, or?
Well, if you're lying, it's a deception check.
Oh, no, I'm not.
If you're giving him your word as Thoricus,
No.
I'm just interested.
I've got a lifetime of sadness that I can feed him. He can hear all about it. We can drink together. We can be buddies.
Fucked up, bro.
Oh,
Okay.
geez.
All right.
I'm not gonna bog you down. You got like 3 months, bro. Just be happy. This guy, I don't mind. I'll dump all my shit on him.
Yo, just let me know, man. I'm ready to roast him.
It's like got his hand on his crossbow.
We
Helix.
don't need to
Helix
fight.
balls. What's his? Fuck this guy.
Ah, I'm happy again.
Oh, he's kind of like with withdrawals.
Yeah. Oh, he licks
Like
my
that.
butthole, right, Thoricus? Right?
All right, yeah, you see he considers the words of you, Thoricus, as you know, he hears kind of a little bit of the taunting from Divot. He says, "Are you so sure, Stone Reaver, that you can handle the strength of your sorrows?" And you see, kind of summoned from the wisps of the distance between you and he, you see, like, filling the void of the shadowy space in front of the ship, you see the shimmering outline of Lucille. The actual dwarven maiden, first love of your life that you had spent time with, and eventually became an agent, I'm sorry, I'm clicking through things, was married to Vegeta Shalefist after you were kicked out of Kulmara, or you were exiled. And so you see as a visage of her suddenly pops up, and you see this kind of spectral woman starts floating around you on the ship.
Are you sure, Thoricus, that you can handle your own sorrows?
I know my past, demon. I know what I can handle. I give you my word.
All right. Thoricus, in this moment, you see the shining yellow eyes of this creature. You hear him start to laugh. Make me a charisma saving throw.
I'm good at that.
Every fighter's favorite saving throw. All right.
You have an inspiration point.
So Thoricus, in this moment, you do? Yeah, that's true. If you were so inclined,
So inclined to what?
you have an inspiration point. Brenna mentioned. If you
Oh.
I
Yeah.
want to save that though. I don't know.
Oh, wait, did I get indomitable back?
if it's a short rest, yeah, because remember you just took a short rest.
Well, so I can re-roll, right? Well, fucking why am I putting it back in there if I'm just gonna re-roll?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could just use an indomitable.
Ooh.
Indomitable. You can tell I've been spoken. I was you got indomitable for it.
That'll work, though.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Oh, that's a little dirty 20 there. All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, it's not the green one, but I'm gonna hit it anyway.
Adoptable.
Try and stop me. Try and stop me. I do what I want. All right. So yes, this is what occurs, Thoricus, as this ghostly figure of Lucille, begins to drift in front of you. You see her as you remember her in your mind's eye, more perfect than you're sure that if you saw her at any time in your real life. But it's like she exists solely as a memory in your mind now. And your memory of her remembers her, like her full rosy cheeks, her strong arms. She was a worthy adversary on the training field and one of the more respected shield maidens of Kulmara. And so, you kind of see her for a brief moment as you remember her. And as she kind of fades through one of the shadows in the murky darkness and steps out the other side, you see your worst nightmare of what she could have become. Had she been slain? What if Vegeta had sliced her throat and her withered corpse has faded away for the time twixt you and when you were there last? You see her withered body for a moment, and you feel a charm magic start to tickle inside your brain. Using your force of will, your indomitable ability, like you said, you've handled a lot of sorrow in your nigh 200 years. You push against it, and you see it just dissolves into what this thing really is. It's just this little wandering wraith that's floating around. But it doesn't attack you or anything like that, but you did break free of this enchantment he was trying to lure you into with this sorrow of yours.
Yeah, I told you I don't really sad. That's why I'm trying to work the deal with you, guy. Jesus, it's gonna take all fucking day.
Tynna, you notice the little spirit keeps wisping by. And you see as this strange, pale, blue-skinned wraith ghost woman just fades through a shadow, appearing out the other side is your mother. You see the silver outline of her kind face, and just like Thoricus so long since seeing her last, she's the picture of your last memory of her. Full of hearth and welcome, the poor, broken wife of Shren Oldbuck. And for a moment, you see the same, as she moves in her emerald dress that she oft wore as you welcomed guests from far and wide. Merchants originally that dissolved into criminals as your father turned darker and darker. But you see, and this creature takes on this illusionary visage in front of you as well. Tynna, make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh my word.
What's about to happen? What's about to happen? Well.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Tynna, being so familiar now with the purities of life and death, no longer the girl, when these harsh memories of the life that you remember your mother having are different than now that you've had some years behind you and you've experienced the light of the Green Lady. And so in this, this is nothing more than some sick, summoned affectation pulled from your own memories, but nothing more than magic dust. And you are able to quickly wipe the illusion away from this creature. And it just kind of continues dancing around.
Yeah, I see how it presents itself to me as my mother when she was her most beautiful, most ideal self, but on my own, I can remember the insane mad woman she was driven to by my father's actions, and what is in front of me is just an illusory image.
Yes, too pure to be true. This was not the last way that you saw your mother. This couldn't be, and you're familiar with the the strangeness of this magic around you. And so, yes, none of you guys fell victim to this strange creature's charm. And you see as it just kind of circles the rest of the group and then returns to the side of the Sorrowmonger. He considers your offer, Thoricus, and upon honor of your word,
yes, feed me your sorrows, and I shall carry you through the Despondent Sea.
You mean in front of everyone?
the eyes glow in response.
I meant later. Like, you give a safe passage now, and I will bring you the sorrow. That's what I meant. See? And we didn't shake yet, so the deal's still on the table. Because we all know a deal's not set until you shake on it.
I've just been roasting this guy this whole time, too. I'm like, yellow eyes, full of pee.
Pea eyes. Ooh.
Oh, I bet you pee-pee breath.
Get my guys hyped up. I mean, I might just have to fuck you up, dog.
We reserve the right to fuck you up. So yes, you see, he is not content to wait for his payment until later. He desires a strong flow of sorrow in order to give you safe passage through the Despondent Sea.
I understand.
Let's give him thick, ropey braids of sorrow.
I get it. You're a businessman.
Every time.
Here's our counter offer. Y'all ready?
No, I'm not, because I'm still on thick ropey braids.
Ropey. That's the one. That's where it gets you.
Ropey braids.
Sorry.
I'm just glad that Gus and I were just like going for it.
I saw both the wheels turn and I was like, I'm in the middle of some magic right now. What's about?
Yeah, I think everybody laughed enough at that. Can I try to hideous laugh to this guy?
Yeah, that Divot, that would start initiative.
And we're brothers.
Yo, I don't want to shit in anybody's Cheerios, but yeah, fuck him.
Is that a thing?
Log him.
It is now.
No, I don't want to do that.
All right, Divot. Yeah, so everybody, go ahead and select your. Here, let me make sure turn order is on. It is. Select your token, and everybody, make sure you can connect with your token. We had that problem last week. Can you move it?
Yeah.
Well,
Sweet.
Well, you know, cute. Nice, it's fun.
Now, Divot, don't worry about rolling initiative. Where you will have been the action that instigated this initiative. So where you will sit at the top.
Christ. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bruder's like, dude, you can make a hole open just by thinking.
Yeah, Bruder's like,
It's a trap.
Beatbox it with the spirits.
no trapdoor, no trapdoor.
All right, so let me.
I stopped thinking about it halfway through and I'm stuck.
But like legs in the air, like how? Like, hello.
All right, so I'm just. All right, Divot. So you pop off Atasha's hideous laughter on this strange looming. You know, obviously not a great guy, but kind of just like, I don't know if we want to like make a deal with this guy. You guys, you don't know much about him. So Divot, you jump into action, bro. You pop off Atasha's. He gets what is it? DC 18 Wisdom saving throw. He gets +3 to this. 18. I'll take the blinder off. This is a good one to start the battle. He fails. So let me just double check one thing. Charmed, exhausted, fright. Okay, so it's this works. So yes, you what
Yeah.
you've been dissing on this guy. What do you say to him, Divot?
Yeah, I'm just like, you bony ass bitch. Who do you think you are? Look at me. Look at my boy over here. We look so much better than you. Come on, man. Just get sunk. Like, what do you mean Despondent Sea? Is that supposed to be a pun? You're weak. Get that pee out of your eyes. Go ahead and cry for me.
I am very proud of that pun. He is hurt by your words right now, but I am
it's
very
brilliant.
proud of
It's
that.
brilliant, but fuck this guy.
Like, fuck him, yeah, but like, the
Yeah,
Despondent Sea,
That was
come
not a pop
on.
shot. I think it's
All
super
right.
clever. That's why I brought it up.
Sit over here, jerking myself off. Sorry, guys.
So simultaneously roasting him and stroking the DM. I want that noted.
You get advantage. No, I'm kidding. All right, so he fails. Divot. You see him, he perceives everything as hilariously funny. Your words, he falls into a fit of laughter. He failed his wisdom saving throw, and you see him fall prone. Again, in the water, that's just like you lose your orientation. He is incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration, which is up to a minute. A creature with an intelligence of 4 isn't affected. He actually has a very high intelligence. And at the end of its turn, every time it takes damage, it gets to make another saving throw. So it has advantage if it's triggered by damage. So the next time he gets hit, he'll get to make a save with advantage. But for right now, he is laughing away. But the wraith by his side, the one that was like wisping around as people of all your various families, she is angered, but it ain't her turn. So Divot, that's your action. You got anything else you want to do on your turn?
Yeah, I just yell, let's cheese it! Let's get the fuck out of here, guys! I can't believe that worked!
Yeah.
But instead, just strumming a lute instead of guitar. It's all lute.
All right, so you is that what you guys are? It's basically Divot. Your turn's done. Riao, you're up, so you would get to make the call on what happens.
Yo, if we're all cool with cheesing it and anything to make this boat go faster, I'll even like hang on the back with a whole boatload of sorrow just in case.
All right, yeah, you see, you're gonna move. All right, so that's the plan. Divot, you've paralyzed this creature, out in the void in front of you, and you're like, turn the ship, like, we out of here.
Full disclosure, I did not think that was going to work.
So you've got 1 minute. You see the wraith, like I said, is like flying toward the ship. So as you guys kind of fly by, it's able to get itself near the deck of the ship. But yeah, Riao, you want to give him the order to booty scoot?
Yeah, if we're all working together on that one, I'm here for it. And then I'll ready an action.
All right.
Am I able to keep it open to like 2 different targets if I'm trying to prep different weapons, or I gotta like stick with the one?
I would say
just
stick
to be
with the
fair.
one. I'd say stick with the one.
Okay.
But yes, you kind of, as the boat starts moving, if you'll go with me, it's just like, and the boat just kind of starts moving past him as you guys float by. And you can see his eyes are like burning with rage at this prospect, but he can't stop laughing. And even how mad he is funny to himself because of this magic that's afflicted his intelligent mind. His own smarts worked out against him there. So you guys just start like, go, 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 go! And the spectral ship starts moving into motion. There is the manner of this ghost or this wraith that is on board the ship with you guys. So even as the ship moves, the wraith is kind of able to keep speed with it, and so it is on deck with you, basically.
It looks so foolish.
Riao, you still, like, that was just like your 6 seconds of speaking or whatever to get it going and get yourself back there. But if you have anything else you want to do, you can.
I mean, if I'm allowed, can I plug this wraith?
Yeah, again, the way that this ship, I know it's a little weird looking top down, but this whole section on the right-hand side is just this big box. It's like no door, no window or anything. And so you're just kind of standing on the edge of that box. You could turn around and pop this wraith that's on the deck. I mean, again, it's this wispy ghost that keeps, trying to torment your friends. So it's probably not, like, whatever this other guy is, this thing seems to just be kind of like a mean old wraith.
Mean old wraith. Yeah, so at least with Smell Sniper, I can still reach her from across the room.
Smell Sniper.
20 plus 13.
Nice. So that's the plus 13 is if you crit. I don't think you got advantage.
Did? Unless it's a dirty one.
Well, no, you got a 22, but if it had advantage, it would have been a crit. That's why it added the plus 13.
Right.
But yes.
Still, though.
You also
and
roll.
this at least slows her down a little bit, too, for future movement.
That's true. You, in fact, yeah, that'll factor in here a bit. You dude, that's great damage, 2 8s and a 4. So it'll be 20 frost damage. Let me just double check. All right. Yes, you see as your spectral beam blasts into her from across the ship. Some of the you've seen this a few times now. Some of the ice of the magic just kind of discards off her body, but you see, about half of the damage got through. So yes, she's struck by the frostbolt. She is affected by the reduction in her movement speed, as well as taking half of that damage.
All right. Other than that, I think I'm Gucci.
All right, you, Thoricus, you're kind of standing on the deck and you see this ice bolt just burst over your shoulder and blast off this wraith that stands in front of you. The magics that made her look like your long-lost love from your younger days in Kulmara, long since passed now. This withered specter, blue face, with missing skin in the cheeks and haunting eyes floats before you with intent to do some damage. What do you do?
Well, it was good to see Lucille again. But, things happen. Never know.
I do want to say you're still underwater. So if you want to use the quick strike blade instead, or you can just take disadvantage on the attack.
Do all those disadvantages still fit?
I already rolled it, dude. Let's just roll it.
All right, so it's like you're so good that it's actually all of these. Let me double check. Yeah, not great AC on this thing. You pull out your now. Is it? I just have to double check something. Non-magical. Okay. So yes, the magical blade, the dual-sided axe of Lucille and the Blightbringer. You start spinning them underwater. You feel the resistance of the water against you. Again, this is not your combat terrain, but you've been here a while now, Thoricus. And as a battle master, aquatic combat is beginning to make more sense. You kind of use your axe to throw your weight around underwater to move faster. And you strike all 4 times, even with disadvantage. Awesome. So 30, 41, 53.
I promised Sorrow. I gave him my word.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill your friend. What's more than that?
Eat it up, bitch.
Yeah.
Get all that sorrow in you. You feel good?
Should we do that?
Now that I killed your friend?
We gotta do that Constant Sorrow song, man. That's what this becomes.
Soggy Bottom Boys?
Yeah, that's Soggy Bottom Boys.
Man, let's go.
All right, so you see, the specter kind of moving a little bit more as the ship continues. The haunting yellow glowing eyes kind of staring at you menacingly, even though his entire body is just caught in a magical fit of laughter. The spirit, Thoricus, that's the end of your turn. The Tynna, what's your dex?
Sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place, I think.
I think it's just on the main character sheet, the first one. Just the raw stat itself.
2? Or
+2, so probably like a 14 or 15.
Yeah, 14.
Perfect. So yes, it actually beats you with its dex, but it does not beat Thor. No. I'm sorry, I have the wrong creature. That's my apologies. Tynna, you're up. What do you do?
Well, so we're still underwater, and underwater is hard for me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real with the group.
Heavy armor, little feet.
No, but I'm gonna summon my spirit guardians because I'm always connected to the green lady, and she has my back no matter what, even if I am in a strange terrain. But yeah, just to get rid of this wraith. Jeez.
Boom. I'm gonna give you a little color. Safe. I think make it where everybody can see it. Is that a thing?
Ooh. Oh.
All right, sweet. Yeah, Spirit Guardians. Failed save. Wisdom saving throw. Yeah, what's up, Wisdom? Come back. Got my turn order on the way. There we go. +2 to this. 14. He fails his saving throw, or she fails her saving throw. And 3 radiant. I also believe it is. Nope. Sorry, I thought it might have taken double damage from radiant, but it does not.
It's accepted.
But no, Tynna, you are forced to move forward just a little bit to get the 15-foot radiance to reach it, but it's within even your limited movement underwater. I think it looks like you're only about 5 feet away.
Yeah. Wait, so I can reach it now currently?
Yeah, if you went like right there. And again, you have 2 squares of movement, that's just 1 square. So the light That's one square. So I know that there's a grid on the back. Sometimes it doesn't all work out. I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
guys. I know why that's confusing. So I was like, look at these big squares. All right, so yes, 16 damage to actually between that and obviously the flurry from Thoricus. The holy light sears through this wraith before it had the opportunity to reach out at you guys. So, boom! You eviscerate this strange spectral creature, able to change shape, pulling from the sorrows of your minds. The ship continues moving, and you see, behind you, Rial, as the distance grows between this laughing creature and the time goes by, the minute divot runs out, the ship has continued moving forward, and suddenly from the depths of the darkness, you no longer hear the strange laughter of this creature, but you see, the piercing yellow eyes in the darkness, staring you down, from a great distance away, trying to catch up with you guys. So, this thing is now trying to chase after you guys, and this is a little bit of a different scenario, but what do you guys want to do? It's all flying all badass behind you.
What happened to Rusty? Good old Phil McCracken. Can't he come fucking save us? Don't we have a lifeline we can use? Can't he just come?
He was gone. He was just...
No.
He came out of the hole and homie had bounced.
Yeah, that's right. The Phil McCracken, the true primordial, was not present when you guys came back out from the ruins beneath Elmira.
All right, Phil. Well, that was my idea.
Did you want one of those? There's always a bigger fish. It's just a bigger nightmare creature. It's just eats it.
Just get a bigger.
I can do that, and you can fight that one.
Man, this is fucked up, but I got an idea. Oh shit! It says yes. All right, don't hate me, but I'm not always a good guy. I reach for the closest crew member, and I'm like, "You look like you have a lot of good years ahead of you. This is pretty sad." And I throw him overboard.
Oh, all right, Divot, you grab one of the spectral souls that serve aboard the ship. You see it still kind of moving to that same beat of the shanty you were singing earlier. You see as you pick it up, it just, soullessly kind of looks at you, a little bit of a shapeless face to it, but not enough of definition to give you an idea of what this creature was when it lived. You kind of just toss it overboard, and you see his little body just withering in the darkness for a moment, and then again, there's no presence, no light. All you see is these yellow eyes between you and the creature, and you blast. Suddenly, you see him just consumed, washed into the mouth of Helix, the Sorrowmonger, and you see he is stopped for a moment as he indulges and swallows and eats of the sorrow. It kind of stops him for a little bit, and the distance between you and he grows.
I look around and count the crew members, and I'm like, okay, we can only do that 8 more times.
Or if they all jump off at once, they might slow him down enough for us to get the fuck out of here.
I also realized that was a very dark solution, and I'm a little bit I should have talked to everybody about that before.
Right.
Or, Thoricus, you can tell him you're sad.
I've got at least 7 years worth of sad if you're not feeling up to the task, so that'll at least spare us a crew. Probably slow him down. I'm glad you did that so we could learn that that'll work.
I remember that Thoricus didn't want to talk in front of anybody else, so I can cast Deafness.
It's okay. My allergies are acting up anyway, so don't worry about it.
I can make sure that at least one person can't hear you.
But my allergies, though,
All right, so what's the Rial? Are you what's the plan?
If Thoricus isn't feeling up to it, if he wants to and wants to do it in private, I'll turn the stone off. So whoever wants to throw their sad at this motherfucker, let's go. I'm on deck if you're not, best friend.
I literally already did that, so you guys can go ahead.
You get a pass.
Yeah, you see one of the other ones is just noticing how close he is to Divot. His work is getting a little better. He's like, do a good job.
I don't think I have any real sads left him.
You did cleanse a lot of sad.
I got a lot of my sads out already when I killed the shadow dragon.
Sure.
It is pretty good. That's good though.
Yeah, I got all my sads out. So maybe, yeah, let's just get back there anyway. So like, I guess I will run or swim towards the back of the boat where Rial is.
Is this going to be a reverse Care Bear stare?
So yeah, Brunor, you see kind of the same as you come over the top of this ship, you look out into the great darkness, and you see the yellow eyes still looming, still glowing, but for a moment satiated with this sorrow that was present within this crewman that was just sacrificed by Divot. And yeah, if you want to like pop up on top of that little deck area as well, you're totally free to.
Yay, pop up.
Now, he will get a save. Oh, I'm sorry, he has an 8, so he would go right before you, Brunor.
Son of the bitch, then I will wait.
I'm sorry. I pre-rolled their initiatives just in case, so he was the 8. The Wraith didn't get a go, though. All right, so he just gets a saving throw.
2 dead.
He hasn't taken any damage, so he just gets another wisdom saving throw.
No, don't. Don't.
15, fail. 13 plus 2, fail. So you see the oh no, I'm sorry. That's the I'm so dumb. The hideous laughter's over. You see the creature on his turn now. He begins kind of regaining the distance lost from the consumption of that one crewman. You see him kind of scoots up. He's flying ever closer to you guys. His ability to move through the material plane unhindered by the same physical realities that slow your ship a bit, especially down one crewman. So you see, it starts gaining on you, but it is going to have to use both of its turns to continue to match the distance. So, Brunor, now you can go. Sorry.
Okay, now I go to the back of the boat. I'm going to the back of the boat. Bam, bam.
You look over the top and you see, it's hurling, and you just see this whirling wisp of shadow behind him as these yellow dot eyes continue to grow, the skull getting bigger in the space between you. But yeah. You see that scary sight. You see Rial standing there with kind of a shiver, clear shiver run down his spine, kind of a faraway look in his eyes. What do you guys do?
I guess, hello? You're a scary guy and you didn't like that we got away from you, but that's okay. You may have the sads that I hold about that weird package I let get eaten by the bad guy, Synthesis. Hey, you know Synthesis!
The words Synthesis cut through the water.
Traitor, sealed me away in the tear, corrupted by the primordial sadness. Now I yearn to live from it.
Yeah, you see, Brunor, there apparently some bad blood there. The mention of Synthesis has angered this creature.
Well, guess what? We are literally on the mission to kill his ass. So I'm just letting you know, if there's any message you want us to give him, we will be happy to oblige.
Or sad. We'll be sad to oblige.
Sad.
We'll be sad to oblige.
All right.
I don't want to do that.
You see the sorrowful creature, the Sorrowmonger, Helix, begins. The tail that runs behind him of fierce aggression begins to dwindle to a hanging robe, as the figure himself, no longer in chase, just kind of floats to be standing before you and slowly moving through the space between. You see, he begins getting much smaller. As both the distance between you and the size of the creature itself match kind of at a perception line in your sight. And suddenly he's basically just floating off of the edge of the back of the ship.
This is a traitor. I am what I am because of him. But I am what I am.
You see suddenly those yellow eyes fix upon your face, Rial.
I thought I saw his face in everything. But I know that face.
You see his kind of gaunt hand kind of reaches out to you.
So much sadness. Feed me, and I shall let you pass.
And he holds his hand out to you, Rial.
Take it all. I don't want it anymore. He tried to shape me. He couldn't. I shaped myself. This sorrow, they're merely shackles. I don't want it, and I have 7 years' worth to give to you.
You see, his hand just kind of reaches out. You see the gaunt, the old skin kind of hanging from these sharp fingernails as he reaches out. And then for a moment, Rial, as if piercing through illusionary magic, you see the hands of Ergon just for a brief moment. As everyone else has pictured these visages pulled from the threads of the back of their mind, so too do you remember the worst parts of the 7 years of your torture when he would be kind to you for no reason. And you see as this hand reaches out and strokes the side of your face, you remember those moments where, again, that hope that he had been feeding into you again and again throughout your torture would manifest in these moments where he would look upon you with care. And almost like a builder looks on one of his finest, tables. And so you feel this mimicked sadness pulled from the well inside your mind that you open to him. And in that shared moment, feeling the hand stroke upon your face, you just feel this immense pull of energy draw from within you, as both the filtered sorrows, sadnesses, and fears of those that had been filtered through you in the ritual and your own are all offered. 7 years of despair plus the contained energies of those of the 10,000 souls. And so you release that sorrow into him, and you feel, Rial, truly as if you have let it go. Strong words, but now you almost don't know what to do without it. But yes, the impending sorrows, that extra weight carried by you, by the pressure of all those other souls, has been relieved. You see the creature's hand draws away. And as he draws in the essence of your sorrow, the age of his years fades away. And you see a high elven king, an arch-wizard that ruled a magical kingdom of great, almost the lineage of the dynasty itself, like the people that created the Steel Army, the Steelborns. But you see the manifestation of like one of the greatest king wizards of all time, this Archmagus Helix. And you see no longer Helix the Sorrowmonger, but Helix the Arch-Wizard. He floats before you.
You have satiated my beast. I for now am the hollow wizard that remains. I shall let you pass. But I ask only that you bring me with you. Synthesis has much to pay for, and my corrupted form is proof. You see the age kind of starts slowly adding back to his body as he's not full with this energy anymore. And, Rial, you're like, oh, that was just year 1 through 3, bro. Check out 4 through 7. And you kind of crank up the sorrow, and you see him almost as if the youth and his age is fed directly by your sorrow in this conduit betwixt you and he. And yes, so you see he kind of holds his hand out and he says, will you take me with you?
I've got a place. You'll really surprise Synthesis this way. Just want to crank open the Krampus sack. He doesn't need to breathe. He can go in there for however long, right?
True, and in this moment, Rial, to kind of to commit to that gesture as well, he's like,
yes. Much easier for me to be as I was, trapped in the crystal for so long.
And you see he turns into one of those pink, black, and purple crystals that was affixed to the base of the tier of the primordials. And so you see he just kind of turns into that same crystal. Perhaps he'd been trapped similarly for whatever amount, 2,000 years, you would guess. But he returns to his crystal form and goes into Krampus's sack.
Yo, to keep him satiated in the sack, can we just hook him up with the DVD set of Futurama so he can watch that episode with the dog over and over again?
He comes out a new man. It's like the dog episode of Futurama.
He's a baby.
He's a baby.
All right, guys, you have. So yes, one of these 6 wizards that was present at the strange ritual, with ties to both Sithis and Uragon, now sits as a crystal in one of your bags. You float through these strange green waters, and though you feel, a little bit of misplaced sorrow floating amongst them, it's nothing more than sailing through a dark void. You see the crew in memory of their fallen ally light these green candles that burn underwater, and you see they go and they blow one of them out, and they all kind of like give a look at you, Divot, while they do it. They're just like, and they blow it out, but it ever burns, so it relights. They all blow it out, and after the last specter blows it out, it stays dead.
I'm like, look, if we find his body, I'll bring him back. I'm sorry.
Can we turn it around? Turn it around. We'll see if we can find it. It's dark.
Later. He's at the bottom. He's made of stone. We know where he is.
All right. Heck yeah, you guys are able to pass through the Despondent Sea, and have basically pocketed this wizard. Let me bring you guys over to boom.
A pocket wizard.
Who doesn't want a wizard?
The Despondency is now the expediency.
I love you so much. That's fantastic.
Oh, God.
That was great.
Snarf.
Woo. Good thing I got these fresh threads to go with these puns.
Nice.
All right. So, passing through the challenge of the Sorrowmonger, Helix, and the Despondent Sea, you guys once more return. As you kind of crest toward the top parts of the ocean rather than the deep dormant areas with no light. You see like the sweet penetrating beams of sunlight. Now, Brunor and Brian, aquatic creatures, you've probably enjoyed this little tryst in the watery realm. But for Tynna specifically, someone who basks in the light of the lady and a traveler of the roads. Thoricus, it would be nice to swing those axes without that disadvantage again. You didn't realize how much you might have missed the even still the sun frozen in the sky. It's been a little while since you've seen it. You kind of chase that sunbeam up to the top of the water. And you pop out. I'm going to take you. I don't know, right? I think I did. Yeah, I took you guys over. So you guys, we kind of talked about this briefly before, but you're basically over here in this little where the compass is. Like, it's not actually the compass, but this bottom corner here where the compass is, that's about, where you would be. So you had mentioned, this is the first time we've gotten a little bit of chance with context to talk about the trek to Nambaldir. But before you, basically, you have the waters lead through to the Shattered Isles, past the city of Candlekeep, where some of you, like the We3, that was like where your first little, like the story when we started playing D&D together, just before we started doing it for all the buds, was, had some roots in that city. And then Rodella is also along the same water path through the Shattered Isles, where you guys, might want to see what's gone on. The last time you saw it, there was all these giant mushrooms and stuff growing. But yes, the rivers that lead through all the way up to Nambaldir are exceedingly deep, fed by the deep rains of the Malachite Mountains. And so you could actually take the ship as far up that route as you were inclined. But there are, it's like Candlekeep is over there, Rodella's over there, the Shattered Isles are over there, Tilmore's over there. You would pass by the Dryad's Cult. You know what I mean? Like, there are some spotlights along the way, so to speak. So how would you guys want to go about this?
It might be fun to go through some old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
I mean, just hearing some of the memories tonight, I'm like, oh man, oh yeah, that's so great. So yeah, I would be down for that.
All right, you feel the sweet kiss of air on your face as the Queen Ant finally breaches the water. you feel the great ship, comes up like this and then finally settles. All your feet, stuck to it the whole time by the magic that bonds you to the ship. The ship lands. You see a lot of the specters that the spectral servants that work aboard the ship prefer the dark dankness of the bottom, and some of them just disappear through the boards of the ship to the area underneath to continue their work, but away from the sun. You look up at a bright blue sky full of puffy white clouds. The sweet breeze of the air brushes on your skin for a moment, and you're able to again appreciate the beauty of a gorgeous day at sea. Near the end of summer now, getting closer to the fall months, the air is starting to crispen, and some of the fabled rainstorms of the Shattered Isles are sure to come. The sun still in the exact same place that it has been since basically you guys began your journey, since the great Druid Achaeus froze it.
Yikes about that.
Rolled 100 on a wild magic thing. It was the whole thing. Anyway, so you guys are, like I said, you're kind of here. So as far as just like DM to player, the Rodella is where, just to remind you guys of some of the highlights. So Tilmore has basically gone back to not being a mercenary camp. It's like the people that were in Tilmore that they didn't like, they kind of went with the Burakkans and are part of that like Stone Reaver army, the Guardians of Emerella, and have gone kind of over to the east. So Tilmore has pretty much returned to what it was when you first found it, before you brought a bunch of refugees from the Shattered Isles that just kind of set up shop. So Tilmore's kind of just settled back down to like a little dusty house that's got like some places of worship and but none of like your people are really there. The Shattered Isles en route, you could definitely check and just kind of see what's been going on there. Candlekeep, again, kind of more of a bit from your history than anything that has like pressing current matters. But yeah, Rodella is probably, there's Greyland and Faragor's army is rumored to be there. Tynna, someone, I think it's someone's girlfriend. I think is it Thoricus' girlfriend?
Ring a bell. No.
Okay. Well, she's there as well. That was where her and Sumner Milton had gone. So yeah, that's kind of what you've got in front of you guys. So if you want to, like, where would you like to start?
I'm not gonna say it because I don't care.
The waterways that would lead there would kind of take you through the Shattered Isles area first, and then you'd kind of like go by Candlekeep and up around Rodella. So that's like an easy order
Shattered
thing.
Isles.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. The Shattered Isles.
That was my idea. Wherever we go from there is someone else's idea.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys kind of set about the boat. You have this moment. Tynna, you specifically in this moment have a bit of a of like a connection back to this warm sunlight. You feel your connection to the lady. Again, we've talked about how it had felt a little strange. Perhaps it was just very hard for her, without the power of her light, her bounty washing on you, to make that connection to you deep in the ocean, and so you do feel a little of that warm resonance within her again. So, you guys kind of have like this nice moment aboard the ship, and looking around you in all directions, you see some of the, there's kind of this old, supposedly haunted tower called Talon's Point to the south of Tilmore. You all know of it kind of like, it's like a tourist trap kind of thing, like a family has run like spook. It's like, oh, look out at Talon's Point, there's ghosts. It's just like, it's almost a joke in the region at this point. But yes, you see these kind of branching arms of islands that reach out, but you've got a good path to the northeast that leads you up. And as the skies, kind of clear and stay, you see the no rain today, just kind of the battering of the sun, forever frozen in its space. You start witnessing the isles themselves, somewhat destroyed by the transformation that occurred during the Silver Rain, when Achaeus grew to the size of a mountain and started stepping on the islands and summoned this rain that showered down just like a gateway to the Feywild. These giant mushrooms and twisted reeds and sharp plants with these giant thorns started blooming all over. And in the chaos that ensued, the newly formed Ferocious Five set about saving the people. You guys saved a little innkeeper named Martha, who was an absolutely lovely woman, and you guys managed to save her. You got Umbaru to actually help out as well, turning someone that looked like a little bit of a bitter merchant into a friend and now long-time ally. Saving several of the 100 that could have died. Only a few did, but the ones that did struck hard. Each of you had some pretty deep moments of loss within the encounter. But as you look upon the Shattered Isles now, it looks as if it's completely overgrown with these strange creatures. Every fanciful delight of the mind that you can imagine in technicolor greens, purples, and blues has twisted bulbous mushrooms, with big bubbles pop, and where they pop, smaller mushrooms land and float in the water. But it seems like the island itself has been infected by the wild of the Feywild, a place that you guys have actually seen in your travels, like the forests that surrounded Kringle's workshop. And so, yes, you see that the life that was once there, the houses, any sign of the old watchtowers or ship docks, even the bridges that connected the islands, that you guys utilized to kind of save the various groups of people. All of those have since been broken and basically consumed by this wild nature. It does seem odd that it has not been able to extend beyond the Shattered Isles itself. Only the spots where the silver rain actually fell. It has this weird connection to these fey plants that grow. So the people of Tilmore are not in danger of these plants coming as far as you can see. But yes, the Shattered Isles themselves have been. I mean, it's funny, they were the Shattered Isles before, and they super are now. Their name is even better.
Right.
So yeah, at this point, the visage on the far coast to your east side or your west side, you see kind of the church towers of Candlekeep. Many religions gather in the city of Candlekeep, almost too many in the sense that the city is always overflowing with strange religious quabbles and pious displays of power. Nothing super violent, but just a lot of really bad behavior by everybody trying to fight for whose god is the best and the right one. And all of them have their answer figured out. So you see, kind of the church peaks of Candlekeep on the far beach. Now, Rial, as you're sitting on the ship, you kind of start feeling this strange calling to you from below, as you stand on the board of the ship, from within Captain Creefus's cabin. Now, I did want to say, all of you guys, we kept saying there's treasure in Captain Creefus's cabin. So rather than roll through it all, I did pre-gen some stuff, and I'm just going to give it to you in this moment, Rial. Upon entering Creefus's cabin, if you so do.
Well, sure. Absolutely. Let's bring a little kitty. Kitty likes shiny things too. Let's go.
Yeah, you see Rial kind of picks up on that same, or not Rial, kindly picks up on, similarly to how when you saw the eyes, he picks up on that same ooh, what's that? And he kind of goes down and like a cat pawing at the door is he's unable. Yeah. Wow. He's unable to summon the door because he is just a familiar. So you have to actually think about the door to summon it.
Okay, I'll do that. You gotta let the cat out, so.
You give him a little cat door first and he pops through, and then you open the door into the cabin. And before you sits, there's this kind of just old treasure box that's sitting in the corner, It looks like it had been lifted up and cleared out at some point, but there's just this calling from within the box. And what's in the box? And from within this treasure chest, you feel this kind of connection to this new source of unlife that you have. This strange connection to an oath that you've now sworn. And you're just kind of ooh, it's not drawing you like the Sorrowmonger or playing upon your own fears, but there's almost a tantalizing magic that beckons you from within this chest in Creefus's chamber.
Can I hold kindly back and just kick the chest real fast? There's a mimic on the loose. I'm worried.
You put one mimic in a campaign, bro? They're always watching. You go and you kick the box, and it's a mimic. No, I'm kidding. It's not. You kick the box, and all you feel is that that little magical wave inside jiggle a little bit from the inside. As far as you can tell, this is not a mimic. As far as you can tell.
Okay.
Perfectly natural thing to say.
You want to tap the chest?
Is it a locked chest?
It is not locked.
The lid can't be more than 10 pounds. We'll just mage hand that little boy up.
Hey, there you
All right.
go.
Nice.
You mage hand it up. You open this box within. First off, let me just do the dollars and cents of it, guys. You get some cash. The Drowned Hounds did have some bounty hunter money laying around. So whoever wants to add this to group loot, it is. You see 100 platinum pieces, 3,000 gold pieces, and 5,000 silver.
Whoa.
You see the chest is basically stuffed to the brim with coin. Small chits rather than large coins like we may imagine, but little chits of copper, silver, and platinum and gold, as they all sprinkled in the box around. And so, yeah. But that's just the dollars and cents of what's in there. But Rial, after your invisible spectral hand that you used to move your own pinky before, flips open the top of this box. You see this glowing bow just kind of set atop the pile of coin inside, that was so surreptitiously given to the group loot. But you see it's got pearl ivory handles that extend out with golden wrappings, and then there's like this beautiful tanned leather handle where your hand would sit, a silver string that is attached, platinum in color. So let's just call it a platinum string. Wouldn't that be easier? A platinum string that runs down from either end. This bow is immensely magical. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, Rial.
Ooh, she's gorgeous. Got a belated treat, hopefully not a trick. Arcana, let's see.
Trick or treat, Arcana. Oh, double fives.
Hey. Ooh.
All right, so I will say you guys have some travel time here. You know what? That actually factors into your book reading as well, Thoricus. So yeah, let me figure that out real quick. So you guys are now basically nearing the Shattered Isles. I would say it's probably going to take you. Okay, you're near Candlekeep now, so let's say it's probably going to take you another 6 hours to get up toward where Riddella is. All right, so right now from here, you guys have about 6 hours of time to do what you will, and that would give you enough time to, if you want to identify this, just like long rest, look at the magic while you're sitting in Crephas's cabin. You can. So would that be a justifiable use of your time in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Since I don't, with my new unlife, don't require like the necessary rest. Yeah, if I can just kind of.
It's true. It only takes an hour, and yeah, you guys did have your rest just before that confrontation in the Despondent Sea. All right, Rial. Just again, I'm just gonna get to. We did a little bit of treasure last time, so I'm just gonna cut through it. This is the Oath Bow.
Oh.
All right, you recall, Rial. In your kind of torturings from Ergon, this was one of the stories that he would allow you to read. Again, kind of the item itself bodes to this heroic overcoming of your enemies and those who have wronged you. And so this is the Oath Bow. It does require attunement. When you knock an arrow on this bow and it whispers in Elvish, "Swift defeat to my enemies." When you use this weapon to make a ranged attack, as a command phrase, you can say, "Swift death to you who have wronged me." The target of your attack becomes your sworn enemy until it dies, or until dawn 7 days later. You can have only one such sworn enemy at a time. When your sworn enemy dies, you can choose a new one after the next day. So when you make a ranged attack roll against your sworn enemy, you have advantage on the roll. It gains no benefit from cover other than total cover. So if you can't see it at all, it's like you can't just shoot through a wall. And you suffer no disadvantage due to long range. So it's a longbow. I think the range of it's like 1,200, or it might be 400. I'd have to look. If the attack hits, your sworn enemy takes an extra 3d6 piercing damage.
Ooh.
While your sworn enemy lives, this is kind of a cool thing about it though. While your sworn enemy lives, you have disadvantage on attack rolls with all other weapons.
Interesting. That's a damn though. Oh.
And yeah, you're proficient in it. It is a long bow. And there you go. Yeah, you see the Oathbow kind of calling out to you again. You know, you got a little stiffed in your luck blade draw in the cave, but this one's right up your alley, Rial. This Oathbow kind of calls to you again. You know, part of this elvish lore that you were familiar with as a boy, and or not as a boy, but as a youngster being tortured. But yeah, here it is. The actual Oathbow sits before you.
You said it. It's right up my reality. It's perfect. Thank you. It's beautiful.
All right. So you, that goes for all you guys. I did kind of like speed travel you through a little section there. So it's like you have, let's call it 12 hours total between the time that you breached the top of the water and where you got to right now, where you can kind of see Candlekeep and Rodella's pretty far off in the distance. So if you had anything you wanted to do in that 6 hours, you know, Rial bonded with the Oathbow. Did you want to attune to that? Are you actually going to? Yeah.
Yeah. If we've got the time, I just wanted to double check that I could, because I think I have the Sending Stones. Did I have to attune to the Bracers as well?
Ooh, I have to check that. The Bracers of Archery.
I think I'm only attuned to the stones. Maybe that, because Throatfucker. That one's fine. That one knows what it's doing.
Yeah, that's not magical. I built that.
Oh yeah, you did.
Oh,
It does. Yes, the Bracers of Archery require attunement.
Okay.
And it gives you +2 damage with ranged attacks made with longbows and shortbows.
I can't recall if we did that after I got him. So I mean, since we got some time to spare, am I able to attune to the both? And I think that fills my 3 slots.
Yeah.
Cool. So it'd be the Sending Stones, the Bracers, and the Oathbow.
Dope.
Oathbow.
You know, again, if you recall, the Bracers of Archery, in a similar sense, you know, came from a fabled story of this prince of the elves that had disappeared in the forests near the Melora's mountain. And so again, it's like you have the Bracers of this one elven lore fairy tale. You have the bow now of yet another one. You know, it's although you are far removed from that, you know, boy reading books in the tortured caverns beneath Urgon's study. You know, you're putting together a pretty sweet superhero collection as far as elves are concerned.
And we all grow and change. Hopefully for the better. But yeah, this is pretty fucking dope.
All right.
I know Thoricus is super busy, but if he had a few minutes to help me fashion a set of, my teeth are getting kind of fucked up. So if he could help me make some silver teeth, out of some of the silver shit that we just got, that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, why stop there? Buddy, I picked up like 6 mithril breastplates. I give you fucking mithril fangs, dude. Like,
oh, stop.
It'd be a stunner.
All right, you do know to melt mithril, you would need some pretty high heat.
Psh.
You gotta turn up the heat a little bit.
Maybe Brian could do me a solid since I gave him that belt, no questions asked.
Hey.
You calling it a no questions asked in?
You gave him an NQA, bro. I mean, it's like, that's the rule.
Well, sure. Yeah. Like a big boy belt for big boy Brian. Here you go, bro.
You know the Brian Man's down. To help out.
Always down. Always down.
Brian hitting me with that fire line.
All right, yeah, I'll allow you. He would have to use his breath weapon, Brenna. That would be, you know, Bruno would be up to. If he uses his breath weapon, you could melt down that mithril, make some sweet mithril tea. Teethril.
Ooh, teethril.
Did someone say it? Did someone say myth grill?
Oh, myth grill! Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Too. Myth grill.
I thought someone said it and I was just lagging. I was like, did someone say it?
Myth grill. Oh my gosh. That's so good. All right, yeah. So, in fact, because we are going to use the thick boys. Ooh, yeah, nice 13. You know, the fire burns hot. The green fire that Brian just kind of blows. Again, the ancient wood on this ship doesn't seem to like burn away or anything. You're able to run a hot little melting pot underneath with the assistance of the thick Wiggly Boy's breath weapon. If you wanted, if you had any other melting down that you wanted to do right now, Thoricus, you could as well. Not just the set of teeth.
Yeah, I have a crazy idea, if I may, Thoricus. You're such a skilled artisan, and my teeth really won't take up that much. So I'd love for you to modify one of the breastplates for Brian, but I want my teeth to be like a teeth mark that's missing like as like the emblem in his breastplate.
Right, like a chunk in the armor.
Yeah.
Because I won't say the other word.
Yeah, because it's like I'm a big piece of his. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah.
Thoricus, hit me with them blacksmithing tools. Blacksmith
That's
check.
what Nara said.
Let's see how good it comes out. You're working at, you're not in the forge with that beautiful, talented blacksmith that you shared a very hot evening with. Ooh, twin 18s though.
It's kind of
What
hot.
a dude.
I know.
But yeah, you managed to get the heat going a little to get what you need. So yeah, bro, I'll let you kind of crap. Again, it's like in the downtime on this magic ship. Yes, you're able to use some of your downtime abilities. So yeah, Thoricus, you can melt down some of that mithril and you were making a breastplate?
Well, I guess it was that barding that we had talked about for Brian.
Yeah,
maybe I
okay,
could
some mithril
work
barding.
on that.
Heck yeah.
And
All
then
right.
make the mithril. Yeah, you know.
Let me do this. I just wanted to see. I think I'm getting adamantite and mithril confused as to what they do. Armor doesn't dispose. Okay, so and it doesn't. All right, so the mithril is you're able to craft some barding for Brian. Now this will increase Brian's armor class by 2. So by 2. The spookiest number. But yes, he will, and he will no longer get. He won't. Well, it would have given him if he was wearing barding. He would have had disadvantage on stealth. But because it's mithril, it doesn't do that. He's able to move around swiftly in it, and it doesn't hinder his movement or slow him down like barding would have.
Now he has 16 AC.
Boom.
Nice.
Iron. Ooh.
And a dope strength, right? He's got like a belt of stone giant strength.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like 23.
Yeah, 23. Beefy. He's a beefy boy.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Sweet.
You guys got anything else? Thoricus, you would okay. So that was your crafting. Tynna, anything? Again, you guys have a little bit of downtime here. Anything that you would want to do on board the ship in that time?
Nothing in particular. I mean, my like armor is like pretty scuffed and stuff, so like maybe just like polishing, like
Heck yeah. Yeah, Tynna, you've now seen the effect that you have as you go around the land, and it's like people tend to look at you as a bit of a holy symbol, almost just because of the benevolence that spills from both you and the holy relic on your finger, the ring of benevolence, and the holy light of the Green Lady within you. So, polishing up the armor, making sure you make a good appearance. Is never a bad idea.
Yeah.
You see a couple of barnacles have like stuck to it. You gotta just kind of pop them off and get them out of there, and salt them down a little bit, rub it down. But yeah, Tynna, I would say almost of everybody, you're probably the happiest to not be underwater anymore.
Yeah, this is nice.
All right, so yes, what about? Let's see. Does that count for everybody? Real, what were you doing?
I'm still good. I'm just tuning away.
Oh, that's right. You attune to the oath bow, and you're just kind of like familiarizing yourself. You can't help but have there's like a mirror, and you're like, dude, chill. Oh my gosh, like look at these bracers.
Doing like the practice quick shots like that.
During this time underwater, like there weren't a lot of living creatures like around where we were because there was so much death and sadness and darkness.
It was a sad
So
place.
Brian has gotten some mossy moss on him and stuff. So I'm gonna give him a salt scrub, baby.
Salt them up.
Time for a salt scrub.
Oh yeah.
All right, you give him his favorite salt scrub. That's worked so well to get off of the filth that will grow on a growing Dracodile as he adventures through the various planes of existence that you guys have gone through. You see, he's completely refreshed by this by your salt bath, and again, Brunor, as both of you continue to grow, in your own stories in your own right. These moments of connection where you're going to call back to kind of like the simpler times where it was just kind of you and Brian, and just, as you kind of look around at these channels, these waters, this is where, Brunor the Serpent this is where these word stories were told of a sea elf that could get, stuff through even during the storm season. You could get the ship through, and you would chart these waters for nobles far and wide for a bit of coin and, and the promise of a little bit of adventure on the high seas. And so it's like, again, kind of returning to this moment as you kind of salt bath Brian down, you can't help but just kind of, sense that that's the simplicity between you and him in a situation that is so far from simple now, that it's just kind of stark.
Yeah, it's nice to reconnect and to kind of see a familiar place also. It's been a minute. So it's kind of coming up to these, it's like I know these seas, but then I'm seeing like the Shattered Isles kind of coming up, and I'm like, but I don't know those shores. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's beautiful, if not at the same time terrifying. Just it's splattered paint palettes of color mismatching over thorns and teeth, and grinding on itself. You can see the urge in this confluence of mystical natural energy is to spread, but it seems just contained by the fact that it can't get beyond where the silver rain fell. You see little pockets of space where the drops of the silver rain were undeterred, and there's just old pieces of dirt and rock, nothing left of what was once there, but this kind of undulating field of color and thorns and menacing beauty that, again, Tynna, you're a nature, your god is a nature god. It just sits not quite right in the sense of what real nature is. It lacks the love, the reciprocation, the tree that, drops the acorn that grows the next tree. Like it loses that cycle. It's just this unyielding mass of vegetation and magical fancy that exists, forever and goes on. So it is quite a sight to behold, but you can't help but feel a bit of menace the closer that you get to it. All right, you guys are coasting through the waters again on the near the between the Shattered Isles and the city of Candlekeep, and you're nearing the point where Rodella would start to be visible on the horizon. And as you look through the piercing blue sky with the red sun still frozen in the same place, you kind of look on beyond the shoreline, and you start to see the outings of the deep cliffs, the twin feet they call them, the two peaks of these, I'm just going to ping him here, but the 2 feet of Rodella. It's these little jetting outcrops of land that resemble feet on the map. And so as you kind of start to make them out over the mists of the waters, as this spectral crew continues pushing you forward, even as they've retreated underneath to the lower deck, you see the blue sky that, is basically just endless and blue for so far and so long as you've gone through the ocean now, and on a very beautiful day. And suddenly you see this strange black cloud kind of emanating from the city of Rodella. You see just like jets and jets of these black plumes of smoke, hundreds in number, little lines of black on the horizon that rise up into this big swirling cloud of black smoke. It's like you see nothing but blue and then this black light before you. And then as the ship gets closer and closer, and you start being able to make out what's going on, you see thousands of camps set up. It's the entire military of the Fellsworn Kingdom has set up basically a little village around the city of Rodella. And the hundreds of points of black lines are these campfires that they're burning, that are sending up this immense cloud of black smoke that just kind of like runs all over the beautiful city of Rodella. Normally kind of a country vista place where a lot of people would come and bring their various bounties and trade fruits, kind of a pretty innocent place comparatively to the surroundings. And you see this just big, thick, disgusting cloud of smoke that's just kind of choking the city in front of you. And it sits on the horizon in stark juxtaposition. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time, guys. Ooh, man. I was out of joints. That's how you know. That's how you know when they're all gone. The spider says it's 420 somewhere, and I believe in that. All right, guys. Happy Spoopy Sesh. Thank you so much for being here with us, guys. Thanks to my amazing cast. I love playing D&D with you guys so much. I have managed to get you to play just 68? Jesus, 68 sessions of this phenomenal story, and we are coming to some pretty big stuff. So I can't wait, buds. It's gonna be big, and it's gonna be coming hot. So hang with us. We are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific here on Twitch. You can also catch our sessions on YouTube the following Friday at 4:20 for the re-up. Follow us at all the various social medias. Get to know the buds. This community is the best fucking people. Everybody's just so nice. People just helping each other out, being awesome. I fucking love it. What a great, beautiful thing. Beautiful friends, beautiful game. D&D is awesome. I'm high and I love all you guys. Holy shit, dudes, we do have us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but we like to take a lighter, like this guy right here. Make sure we're not gonna light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire and go. Light us up. Oh, look at them. I love my friends. Thanks so much for playing fucking D&D with us, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday!
That's some Ferngully shit.
Dave's on being hexes.
The power.
Hit me once.